What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the very best team that you guys can use in ranked doubles battles. You guys can use this in ranked, you can use it on the battle tower, you can even use this team to beat up your friends. I guarantee you this is going to be the best doubles team you've ever seen, bar none. I've been working on this team almost in secret since the release of Sword and Shield, and I am super happy to finally have it out. All of these Pokemon have really unique natures, really unique like moveset, item choices, and of course they have incredibly complex EVs that we're going to be going over at the the tail end of the video. There's a link in the description to the paste bin of this team as well as the team ID, which you can also see on screen right now. I would highly recommend you try this team out, and if you are going to try this team out, if you win some games, which you most definitely will win games if you're even a half-decent pilot of this team, please let me know in the comments below how good this team is. I just got done streaming with this team on Twitch TV/THATSAplusONE, and let me tell you, I won so many games that I just kind of got bored. Like, this team is that good that you're just going to be able to dumpster so many people, and the wins are just going to pile up, and you're going to be like, wow, I actually understand so much about VGC by playing this team. And I think this is a really, really good team for people that are coming from a singles background going into VGC. Going from singles to VGC, it's not really about, like, VGC is not about sweeping your opponents. It's not about ending the game quick, setting up dragon dances, setting up hazards and stealth rocks. That's totally fine in singles. There's nothing wrong with that. But in VGC, it's a lot more about defensive typing, analyzing the board state, and utilizing both your Pokemon to the fullest potential. So if all of those things sound like they'd be fun for you to try, well, try out this team code. It does not hurt to try it. It's a completely free rental team. If you want to put it in your game, win some games, I think you're going to win a lot of games. I think you're actually going to have a lot of fun. So you guys, like I said, can use this team for yourself. The games we're going to be looking at today, in today's video, are actually my very first 2 games of doubles, on like the ranked ladder, like period. Like, I think I played a couple of ranked doubles on the very first day the game came out using like my in-game team with Inteleon. But these are my first like actual doubles games. So I'm learning the mechanics just like you guys, but I still think that this team has exactly what it takes to take anyone that wants to learn how to pilot it correctly all the way to Master Ball. This is one of the coolest doubles teams I feel I've ever made. The EV spreads, the item choices, all of this place this team so much higher than all of the other teams we've shown on this channel. This is by far and away the most complex team we've ever shown in Sword and Shield so far. There are no 252s here except for maybe on Extra Drill. All the Pokemon have really, really unique EV spreads that we will be going over after the battle. So if you guys want an in-depth rundown, be sure to stick around for that. But if you guys just want to get right into the games, you guys can take the team ID, you can put it in your own games, and if you guys want to look up all the stats, there is a link to the paste bin that has all the stats in the description below. I would highly recommend checking that out before playing these games, because these Pokemon are a lot bulkier than you think, and you're going to need to know just how bulky they are to actually play this team correctly. So sit back, everyone, max relax, act all cool as always, enjoy the games, and let me know what you guys think about this team in the comments below. Going into our very first game of a ranked battle spot VGC doubles, we see Dragapult Arcanine, Corviknight Bisharp, Oranguru, and Rhyperior. Wow, a little bit of potential for Trick Room, a little bit of potential for like Telepathy. Oranguru using Instruct on Rhyperior for huge earthquakes and rock slides and stuff like that. Really, really cool team. I think our squad has what we need to succeed, though. A big problem will be that Corviknight and the Bisharp. I think that means Kommo-o is a great Pokemon in this situation. The only issue is I wonder if that Dragapult, puts enough pressure on, or I wonder how much pressure actually the Dragapult puts on our Kommo-o. So I actually think I'm going to try and, do I really want to go for like a Tailwind? I really do need to respect the Oranguru. I think it's probably just a better idea to lead Sand, just like T-Tar Excadrill, because he has no other really way of resetting the weather other than using like max moves, and he probably doesn't have like a water attack. So I think I'm going to go T-Tar Excadrill. I think T-Tar Excadrill is fine, showing you guys how the T-Tar Excadrill lead actually works. We're going to bring Kommo-o in the back because that is how we're going to be able to break all those, all those Pokemon, really. And then, let's see, last Mon, I think Rotom is okay. but I'm gonna go Rotom. He has Corviknight. He has Bisharp. I don't think that Gyarados is the right play here, because Gyarados would come in, Mirror Armor would bounce back my Intimidate, Mirror Armor would proc the Bisharp's Defiant, so hopefully we can get away with this without needing too much speed control. I think Corviknight would have been a really cool pick here, but like I said, this is my very first ranked doubles game with this team. I'm still getting a feel for it, so I want to go with what is comfortable, and let's see, he goes Oranguru Dragapult. That is very, very menacing. I think I'm actually just going to take out the Oranguru. I think I'm just going to absolutely take it out. So the way this is going to work is Tyranitar is going to set the Sandstream. That is going to activate a Sandstorm for the next 5 turns, and then it's going to make it so my Excadrill, who has the ability Sand Rush, is going to have its speed doubled, which means we're going to be outspeeding the Dragapult. We're going to be outspeeding pretty much everything, and you can see my moveset here. I think, do I want a Trick Room here? Like, I could KO that Dragapult this turn with my Tyranitar, or I could decide to KO the Oranguru. I mean, let me actually think about this. I think I'm going to KO the Oranguru, because I think if he gets a Trick Room up, I think I kind of just low-key lose. Actually, if he Trick Rooms me... What do I have in the back? I have Como in the back? If he Trick Rooms me... yeah, I'm actually going to do that. If he Trick Rooms me, my whole team just kind of walls him. Like, if he Trick Rooms... We still have a lot of time, though. You know what? I'm going to get the Oranguru off the board. I don't like that Pokemon. I've never liked Oranguru. I don't want to deal with it. I'm just going to go for the Rock Slides. Pray for flinch chances on the Dragapult, because there's no reason to just Iron Head it right now. Rock Slide's going to provide extra additional damage in the Oranguru, which might put the Oranguru within range for this crunch. It's very hard to say. He goes for a Flamethrower. It's going to activate my Focus Sash. Remember, other than our Excadrill, we're running very, very bulky Pokemon. And so, I don't know if this can actually KO the Oranguru here with my Tyranitar, but it is... Oh, he's using a Dark Reduce Berry. Wow, alright, so that is some crazy tech. Looks like I wouldn't even got the KO anyways, but you love to see it. Let's see if he's going for a Trick Room. There is the Trick Room. So one really good thing about this is, first of all, love the tech from the opponent. Absolutely love to see it. So you can see the Oranguru taking damage first, then the Dragapult. I'm going to be able to switch things up and go after the Dragapult with a Crunch right here. And he totally has a Trick Room, and I think that's absolutely fine. I'm thinking about protecting here, and then next turn I'll switch in like my Rotom to try and wait out his Trick Room. So guys, Trick Room is a very, very important doubles mechanic. For those of you that don't know, it switches every Pokemon's speed for the next 5 turns. So if you're fast, you're slow, and if you're slow, you're fast. So what he actually did was make it so my Tyranitar can KO his Dragapult. Now he might switch out that Dragapult for like a Rhyperior and start just going to town on me. That's 100% possible. He might just let the Dragapult go down and then bring Rhyperior. Let's see, he's actually going to be switching it out. That's the correct play. I think switching out Dragapult to go into some mitigation. There's Rhyperior, guys. It's almost like I play the game. It's almost like I've been a VGC channel for like the last 10 years, and I know exactly what I'm doing. But let's see. Goes for a Bulldoze. He's going to be procking a weakness policy here. Watch. Just watch. Just watch. He's going to be procking a weakness policy on this Rhyperior. Show it to me. Show me your weakness policy. I mean, that'd be pretty lit, right? Oh, it's almost like I play the game. My very first doubles game, the very first one, I can see these things coming miles away. And if you guys watch the videos, if you guys play a lot of VGC, you will also start to see them. They're very obvious signs. They're very, very obvious signs. He's probably going to be maxing this turn. Let's see. I can wait out this Trick Room, though. I can totally wait it out. We're going to protect with our Tyranitar here. We're going to switch in our Rotom. There we go. And Rotom, remember, has that Levitate. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for Earthquake, and I'm pretty sure that's a Telepathy Oranguru to make it so he doesn't take damage from his own Earthquake. He doesn't take damage from his teammates' moves. And then he's going to be using probably Instruct, which makes Rhyperior attack again. So we'll see how this works. He could go Rock Slide. He could go Earthquake. Either way, I think he's going Earthquake. We'll see, though. Rotom has Levitate, though. We should be able to get in and not have to deal with that damage. He is going with the Boom. He's going, here comes the Boom. Rhyperior about to be absolutely popping off. I want to know what move he's doing. I want to know if he's going max, max Rock Fall, max Ground Attack into my Tyranitar slot. That'd be really lame. But we'll see. I don't think he would just be ignoring my Excadrill slot that hard. But we'll see how much damage Tyranitar takes. I don't really need Tyranitar that much at this point in the game. Max Knuckle. Yo, we have a Chople Berry. This is through Protect. So Max Knuckle, that's probably boosted off of Hammer Arm. But let's see how much damage it does. He's at +2. I have a Protect and a Chople Berry. I have a Chople Berry and that did that much damage. Holy moly. And I think he actually gets to go again. So now he's at +4. Holy moly. And he gets an attack boost on his Oranguru. Not the most important thing. Yeah, all I got to do is really wait this out. He goes for a Psychic on what was the other one instead of going for the Instruct. Really, really nice to see. All right, so one cool thing here is I think I can actually get away with double attacking. Like, I think, let's see, how many turns are left on Trick Room? Should be 2? 2 turns? 2 turns, cool. So if I wait this out, I should be okay. Let me think about how I really want to do this. Like, I could protect with my Rotom right now. But let me think about this. I have Como in the back. And Como is going to be very good. Let's go for the Crunch into the Oranguru. And we're just going to protect with Rotom. I think he's going to go after my Rotom this turn. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he doesn't go after my T-Tar. There's a Max Guard. That's totally fine. Why would I attack you? You're the one that's supposed to attack me. Like, I'm going to protect. I'm going to switch out and probably just fodder my Como. Actually, I'll just fodder the Rotom. And I want to save my T-Tar. Bam! Get out of here. That guy had this guy has a really good team, by the way. As far as, like, gimmick teams go, like, hard Trick Room teams, this guy has everything he could possibly want going for him right now. So let's see. What do I want to do here? I don't want to lose both my Pokemon, but I'm looking at it like I haven't Dynamaxed yet, and this is his last turn of Dynamax. I'm thinking about switching out my T-Tar. That is his last Pokemon for Kommo-o, and just losing potential Kommo-o Rotom, and then I can come in. Ooh. Let me think about this. That Bisharp is a little bit of a problem because Sucker Punch will KO my Excadrill. And I don't like that. That's not part of the game plan right now. Also, that Bisharp is most likely sashed. I think I might try to just protect my T-Tar then. I could totally Max Knuckle into it. You know, sometimes those things have to happen, right? We're going to Volt Switch into the Bisharp instead of Will-O-Wisping it because I just want to break the Sash. And, you know, I'd much rather not miss a Will-O-Wisp and leave his Sash up. So he's probably Max Knuckling. I would not be surprised to see that at all. Max Rockfall into Rotom. Hey, that's totally fine. It's totally fine because we're going to bring in Kommo-o. Como Arigato is going to be able to come in and just deal massive damage to these guys. Hopefully, definitely, maybe. Iron Head underspeeds our T-Tar. Great play from our opponent. And now, finally, the Sandstorm subsided. But we're able to come in with Como Arigato. We might be able to outspeed this Bisharp. I don't know for sure, but our Tyranitar is very, very bulky. Full HP with a ton of defense investment. We are full HP with 84 EVs and Nature in defense. So we are very, very, very bulky. We're going to be going for... Do I really want to Rock Slide this? Because, like, Low Kick will clock the Sash on that Bisharp. I think I'm going to clock the... I think I'm going to Dynamax. Do I want the Max Attack Boost? Oh, actually, I could Dynamax and probably Max Rockfall the Bisharp to reset my Sand. Because I need to reset my Sand eventually, guys. That's the whole issue here. We need to reset the Sand. So we can beat the rest of his Pokemon. I think I'm just going to Low Kick it. I'm going to Low Kick this Bisharp. I think I can live the Iron Head. And we will be going... Clanging Scales. Clanging Scales, guys. It's an AoE move. It's super good. We are using Choice Specs. And so we should be able to pick up the KOs on these guys. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's go all the way. Going all the way. Let's go and Protect. Protect Bisharp. Hey, that's totally fine. Hopefully we can still KO this, hopefully we can still KO this Rhyperior. Because this Rhyperior is at like +6 right now. Holy moly. Can you not? There we go. Rhyperior going. Oh! He's going alive! He's still alive! Oh my gosh, that sucks. That's not good for me. That's not good for business. All right. And High Horsepower is going to be able to KO probably... Oh, he missed! I take those. I take those. Don't act like I don't take those. I totally take those. All right, so what we need to do here is Clanging Scales will KO. Yeah, we're going to Low Kick here. And we're going to Clanging Scales all the way to the bank. Actually, I outspeed... I'm trying to think of, like, a way I can get away with this. Like, I'm trying to think of... Nah, I think this is just the best that I got. Because Clanging Scales will... This is the best way to check both of those Mons. But the only issue here is that Bisharp... Okay, he's going for Sucker Punch. I was going to say, Bisharp, if it was full speed, could potentially outspeed my T-Tar and flinch me, which would be very good. And we see Life Orb. So cool. He's not even Sash. I didn't even need to play around this to the level that I played around it. But... We be taking those, guys. We be taking those all the way. Rhyperior goes down. Bisharp gets chunked. Tyranitar uses Low Kick. And for those of you guys, like, wondering, like, why this game is so close, guys, I haven't even Dynamaxed yet. It is my very first doubles game using this team. Look how thick we are. Our team is so thick. We waited out a Trick Room. Do you know how hard that is to do? You know how many games are just over when opponent sets a Trick Room? And I'm like, Trick Room? What's that? Like, I can wait that out. I'm so thick. And you know what? I don't even need to like Dynamax. I can just end it. The battle was canceled. We take those wins. Guys, try this team for yourself. If you need Pokemon that have speed control, this has speed control. This has bulk. This has good typing. This has everything that you could possibly need to succeed for ranked on ladder. Alright, so we're going up into our next game. We see Dragapult Gyarados, Rotom Heat, Togekiss, Ferrothorn, Scrafty. Really, really cool team. How do I actually want to play around this? I don't think I can lead Sand, but I don't know if I really want to go like Corviknight. Corviknight is a little bit risky, but I mean, if I get Tailwind up, that's really, really good. Corviknight's really good against the Gyarados. I am going to lead Corviknight, I think. Corviknight's a solid lead. I think I'm going to lead Corviknight T-Tar with the potential of switching out Corviknight for, Excadrill to block an electric attack, but he's probably just going to overheat me. Let's see. I think Corviknight's a good lead, though. Corviknight's solid. He doesn't have anything to really stop my Gyarados from popping off either. But, like, Gyarados just has a really hard time dealing with all those Mons. This is a hard one. And Dragapult deals a lot to us here, too. Our Gyarados set's really, really good, but it's not, like... He has a lot of flying types. He has, he has... Most of his Pokemon can't be hit by Bulldoze, so Gyarados isn't that hot here. We're going to go Corviknight. I think we're going to go Corviknight, Komao, and then T-Tar Excadrill. Yeah. Corviknight, Komao, T-Tar Excadrill. There we go. Let's lock this one in. We're using Corviknight this time. I think Corviknight has the potential to be good, especially if like I lead Corviknight, right, and they lead with something that totally checks my Corviknight, like maybe that Rotom Heat. I can switch in my Tyranitar, start the Sand, and block those really, really important, really, really important fire, or like even electric attacks. Don't do that much to a T-Tar. You get the boost from the Sandstorm. So let's see how much he actually goes for. Scrafty Gyarados. Oh, the mirror armor! The mirror armor! Why did he really tried to disrespect us with that double intimidate lead? Yo, I see you! You really gonna be slamming in the mirror armor? Like, oh my gosh, yo, that's still... Was that a Mental Herb? Or sorry, a White Herb. So White Herb's cool. No, White Herb's totally cool. Was that a Moxie Gyarados then? Alright, cool. So, I guess he didn't go with the double intimidate, but he went with a White Herb. I am definitely gonna be tailwinding here. And he's totally going to fake out us. I think that's totally fine. I wonder if he's going to go Ice Fang into us. One really cool thing here is I can just like one-shot that Scrafty with this Ghost move if I wanted to. But I think I should just be going for Clangs. I'm going to go for Focus Blast, guys. You got to risk it for the biscuit. That's why I always say, you got to risk it for the biscuit. It'll get my Quiver-9 attack boost back, too. Actually, not back. You know what? I'm actually going to Dynamax and Max Knuckle. I think we can kill the Scrafty. And you can't fake out a Como if you Dynamax, right? So the plan is to Dynamax. We're both Dynamaxing, by the way. And the reason why we're Dynamaxing with Como right here is, yeah, I'm losing the boost of my Choice Specs, but we're making it so we can't get fake outed. We're also making it so we can't miss. We're going to be slamming in a super effective fighting attack here. It's going to be doing a lot. I could care less about what Gyarados is doing. I have a Tyranitar and an Excadrill. They pack huge rock-type attacks. And they're ready to deal with that thing whenever I need to deal with it. Also, I'm setting a Tailwind, so that means I can bring in my Tyranitar and still outspeed that Gyarados. So I think I'm in a good spot. I would like that Scrafty to go away, though, because I do, like I said, have, Tyranitar that I would like to use this game. So let's see. Komo's going to be going off, though. You can see his Gyarados is faster than my Como based off him actually Dynamaxing first. But we are extra thick on this Como spread. Very, very thick. So he's going for a Fake Out. You can totally Fake Out my bird. Could care less about that. That ain't no thing. Do what you want to do, Chief. He's going for a Max Airstream into my Como. That is one of the reasons why I decided to Dynamax, because I knew I was going to be able to live it. And you see he gets a speed boost right there. Man, Gyarados is such a pain. I can't believe that he's using Moxie Gyarados. Like, that's pretty raw. Please go away. Wow, that's so weak. That's so weak. All right, let me think about what I'm going to do here. He's going to go with the air thing again. I don't think I want to set Tailwind then. I think it's a better idea to just go for Iron Head here and hard switch in my T-Tar. Iron Head will KO the Scrafty, I think, because I'm not intimidated. I'm actually at +1 attack, and he's going to go for the Max Airstream into my Tyranitar. There's no reason to set a Tailwind because he's still going to be able to outspeed after the second Max Air. It sucks that I blew my Mega there, or sorry, my Dynamax. But I still think I can come back, and I do need to save this Como-O to deal with that Ferrothorn potentially. I can always save it to come in and use like Clanging Scales. It's just the only reason why I really Dynamax there. I know I lost the effectiveness of my Choice Scarf. Sorry, Choice Specs. But I did not want to just, I did not want to miss, right? If we missed there, we kind of died. And I just felt that I wanted the attack boost on my teammate as well. So Como gonna be taking a back seat, coming in with T-Tar here. Let's see if he mixes it up and goes for like the Max Geyser. That'd be super raw. Let's see it though. Let us see. Are you using Max Airstream or Max Geyser? We're starting up the Sandstream here. Can be able to do some chip damage. If we can wait out his Dynamax, I think we can come in. He does go for the Max Geyser on the switch. Is it going for my Corviknight? Yo, we can live that, right? Yo, look at our EV spread, chat. I mean, maybe not chat. Look at our EV spread, viewers. It's super thick. Sucks that T-Tar came in and just got dumpstered there. Does he go for a close combat? Look at that read! What kind of read is that? He's gonna close combat my Como-O. I mean, we're able to live it thanks to our Choppleberry. But what kind of tech is that? Have you ever seen someone play so... He like double outread me. What a couple of wild and crazy plays if I've ever seen them myself. Like, wow. Wow. Okay. All right. I need to take a chill pill. Those are some pretty crazy turns. And he's going to be able to come in with probably like Dragon Bolt now and just have like a huge offensive next couple turns. So I need to switch my T-Tar out so I can reset the sand. Probably going to go back into Como-O, which is lame. There's the Togekiss. All right. I'm actually low-key okay with this because if I can wait out this Gyarados, I'm in a decent spot. So we're actually going to protect with Corviknight. We're going to switch in our Como. Como's probably going to be going down. And then we'll see. I don't want to get in those boosts, but like I'll be able to send out my Excadrill then, and then we'll be able to go for... I guess we still send out the T-Tar, don't we? And then we just protect bait it, set up a Tailwind, and then send out Excadrill and win the game. That's our best shot. So it's for a Follow Me. As always, that is the play with Togekiss. Remember, Togekiss loses Tailwind in this game. But there's a Max Geyser. He's probably going into the Corviknight slot because he wants that thing off the board. Wow, he just went right into the... What if I said Tailwind? This person has not given me a single respectful turn all game. They've not given me a single respectful turn all game. They've disrespected every single one of my plays. What a player. I actually think that this is our best shot. Because we have Sash. And this is last turn of Max. So right now he has +1 attack. Let's see what he actually wants to do with it. That Gyarados is at +1 speed, right? I'm actually going to use... I think I'm going to Tailwind here. And I'm going to hard switch in my T-Tar. I'm going to trick him. I mean, I'm going to try and trick him. We could have just sent the T-Tar out right there. I want to trick him into going for a Waterfall on my Corviknight versus like if I just had the sand there, he wouldn't be going for the Waterfall on the Corviknight. He'd be going for just the attack on my T-Tar, and I'd be able to get Protect baited, and then he would just try and nuke my Corviknight, which is not what I want. I'd much rather he go for, you know, just an all-in play on this slot. Let me fodder my T-Tar, and then I'd be able to bring out Excadrill with the sand boost intact. So Sandstream going to be popping it off here. And then we're going to be able to go for like double Rock Slides. That's like our... Or not maybe double Rock Slides. But this will Follow Me. We're going to try and Flinch Town that Gyarados, guys, if you haven't figured it out. We're going to try and take him to Flinch Town right now. There's a Waterfall. And even if he goes after the Corviknight, it's not going to KO. It's going after T-Tar. That's totally fine. Like, it's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate. But we are able to set up our Sandstorm finally. We've waited out his Storm. There's a Tailwind, which means his +1 Gyarados ain't got no power here. Even my Corviknight's going to be able to outspeed. And I think the play here is going to be Rock Slide. Yeah, Rock Slide, flinch the Gyarados. Rock Slide, hit the Togekiss. And then Drill Peck, sorry, not Drill Peck, Iron Head into the Togekiss as well. And the reason we had to go all that way, out of our way to set all this stuff, is because we need Corviknight to outspeed things too. So that's the idea. We're going for Iron Head into the Togekiss slots. And we're going for Rock Slide into the Gyarados. And let's see what he goes for. He might be trying to use Protect, wait out the Tailwind. Goes for a Follow Me. Looks like Protect is not on his menu today. And we're going to see what we got here. We got to get some hits on that Gyarados. There we go. Look at that big damage. 2-shot in the Gyarados right now. There's a flinch. That's what I'm talking about. It's almost like I played the game. Remember, Corviknight still has that big +1 attack boost from earlier. We're most likely going to see a Citrus Berry here. But we should be in a situation where we can get a double KO next turn, and then we're gonna have a 2v1. We have like 3 turns worth of sand and our sash still intact on our Excadrill. We're gonna be in a very, very good spot. We're gonna be going for an Iron Head on that Togekiss and another Rock Slide in the Gyarados. He might be protecting with his Gyarados this turn and foddering his Togekiss, and that's totally fine. Like, one of the reasons we set those Tailwinds is so we can still outspeed Togekiss with our Corviknight in case he wanted to go for a Protect play with Gyarados and maybe like a Flamethrower into our Excadrill, hoping we missed Rock Slide. So that's one of the reasons why we set the Tailwind. The Tailwind might not seem super important, but it makes it so he can't be cheeky. Guys, remember, this guy's done every single play, every single like move this guy's done this whole set has been very, very cheeky. He's disrespected on my plays. He hasn't fallen for any of my Protect baits. He hasn't taken any baits. He's just done the exact like opposite of like every single play I've tried to condition him into. And so I finally got him in a really good pin. Hopefully hit this Gyarados. That's what I'm talking about. Excadrill, taking him out, double KO. You see, I could have went for a Roost there, but the reason we're going to go with an Iron Head with our Corviknight, because I didn't want to miss on the Togekiss. I know the Togekiss did not follow me. The Togekiss was attacking. So it sucks I didn't get a Roost off, but I don't think I need it. I can go for Earthquake. I can go for that +1 stabbed Iron Head. And I want you to show me what your last Pokemon is. It's probably Dragon Ball. Is it Ferrothorn? It's Rotom. All right, Rotom. Yo, Rotom, my friend. I'm about to take you all the way to Flinchtown, Population U. We got more rocks on rocks, 30% from Rock Slide, 20% from Iron Head, and hopefully I hit all these. There we go. Look at this big damage. Single target Rock Slide now. And remember, guys, we still have a Focus Sash up on our Excadrill. You know we're going to get a flinch. You know we're going to get the flinch. That's what I'm talking about. Like, almost... What even other option would there be other than me flinching this guy? So coming in with another Iron Head. Actually, just want to make sure on something that is my Tailwind still up? No, this is I need to re-Tailwind. Right, yeah, I need to re-Tailwind. So even at worst case scenario, I can come in and, like, let's say I miss this Rock Slide. I want to be able to re-Tailwind so I can start re-Iron Heading him and then use the Sandstorm and my Iron Heads. Even though they're like fourth, or even though they're not very effective, you still want to be able to make sure that your Corviknight can grind out the Rotom. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a run here. Rock Slide, connections are made. We take those wins. How many of you people thought I was going to lose that game? How many of you guys saw the pins and needles I was in on the first couple turns of that game, and they're like, oh, he's Dynamaxing, and he's reading you, and you're losing all your Pokemon, and it's like, it's almost like I play VGC. It's almost like, you know, I can play cool, calm, and collected, analyze the situation, and set up situations that I need to do for myself to take advantage and swing the tide of victory in my favor. Like that game, I was getting my face shoved in. I'm not going to lie. He had that super strong Gyarados. He had redirection. He had that Scrafty living my moves. But what I did was, I had to fodder the correct Pokemon. I used correct board positioning to come into a board where I had correct speed control. I had my weather up. And then after that, I was able to, you know, late game reverse sweep the game. So hopefully you enjoyed these games. If you want to use this team, we're going to be moving on to a team review section where you guys can see this rental team code for yourself, and we're also going to be breaking down all of the amazing EV spreads. There are no 252 EV spreads in this team. All these EV spreads are ridiculous, crazy. All these Pokemon are flawless. They have 5, 6 IV on all of them. They have amazing items. We're going to be reviewing all of that right now. So if you guys want to know how to use this team for yourself in your own games, sit back, enjoy it. This is going to be the best part of the video coming up right now. So hopefully you enjoyed the battles. We're going to be moving over to Pokemon Showdown to take an in-depth look at all of our items, all of our abilities, all of our moves, and especially all of our EVs. Normally we like to do this during the, normally we like to do this in-game, but since our EVs are so specific, we're going to need Pokemon Showdown to actually show you guys all these numbers. And there is a paste bin. I always say when I say paste bin, there is a paste bin of all of these stats in the description of the video. Check it out. I highly recommend actually knowing all these for yourselves. But again, our team is Tyranitar Excadrill. You got that standard stand core with an Intimidator Gyarados, a Rotom Mow, which is actually the correct Rotom for this team. I know I've probably already gotten a bunch of comments saying, that's a really cool team. Why aren't you using Rotom Wash? Why are you using Rotom Heat? Rotom Mow is a really, really good pick here because it counters sand teams and it counters the water teams. It's very, very underrated. We have Como as our big special nuke cannon. And last but not least, we have a Corviknight, who I don't know if I'll keep around for much longer. But Corviknight is pretty cool. I'm happy that we can use new Pokemon. We're going to start things off with Tyranitar. Tyranitar is a very unique Pokemon. It gets the Sandstorm ability. For those of you guys who don't know, on Switch In, this Pokemon summons Sandstorm for the next 5 turns. And that's really, really good because Sandstorm is one of the best weathers in the game. It multiplies the special defense of rock types by 1.5, and it makes it so every Pokemon takes Sandstorm damage at the end of every single turn, unless they are a rock, ground, or steel type. And that's really, really good because, first of all, it's a weather that can break sashes, but also Pokemon take Sandstorm damage based off their speed tiering. So like if I have a Tyranitar and my Como-O, for example, or a Tyranitar and my Gyarados, and they have, like let's say like a Pelipper and a Rotom, and I want to know if my Gyarados is faster than any of those Pokemon, well, the order in which they take Sandstorm damage at the end of every single turn will dictate their speed tiering. So you can actually use Sandstorm to scout for your opponent's speed tiering if you want to play very defensive and protect and wait until you can see the end of turn animations. So Sandstorm is a lot more underrated than a lot of people give it credit for, especially in doubles. In doubles, it is very, very good, which is why you see it a lot more in doubles than you do in singles. So let's actually move on to our item choices. We're going to be using a Chople Berry. It halves the damage taken from a super effective fighting attack. This is really, really dominant on Tyranitar especially because Tyranitar has a 4 times weakness to fighting. And you know what? A lot of people are using Tyranitar. And you know what? A lot of people are using Low Kick. Low Kick's a move that deals more damage the heavier the target. You know who's really heavy? Tyranitar. You can expect every single Tyranitar that you're going to fight to have Low Kick. And if they're all going to be low kicking you, and you know they're going to be low kicking you, and you know Pokemon like Corviknight are going to be using Flying Press, and people are going to be using Aura Spheres and close combats and what have you, it's a really good idea to pack this Chople Berry and supply yourself with a lot of bulk to be able to actually live their attack and then one-shot them back with Low Kick. And you get such an advantage there. The only way they can actually live it is if they have a Focus Sash. Even like a full HP defense Tyranitar still goes down to like an uninvested Tyranitar Low Kick. That's just how strong Low Kick is on Tyranitar. So you can see our movesets we're going to be using Protect here. It's going to make it so we prevent moves from affecting the user this turn. Remember, max moves still go through Protect. They do, I think, like 80% reduced damage, but that still do a very significant amount. We have Low Kick to beat other Tyranitars, as well as Steel types. It is good to note that this is a secondary Pokemon that can help us deal with Ferrothorn if need be. We have Rock Slide for our main stab. Guys, remember, 30% chance to flinch on Rock Slide, and it hits both targets in doubles, which we are looking at today. And last but not least, we have that Stabbed Crunch. 20% chance to load the targets by 1. This is a really good Pokemon. Tyranitar especially is a very good Pokemon to go max with because I feel that you just gain so much bulk, and then the max moves. Rock Slide can reset your Sand. Low Kick turns into Max Knuckle, which gives Tyranitar and your ally a +1 attack boost, and the Crunch lowers your opponent's Special D by both of them by 1 stage, so that makes it a really good pair to pair with the Como-O. So pretty cool Pokemon. I really like these this coverage here, and we're going to move on to the EV spread. It's very, very unique. You can see we do not need to go full attack speed. That's not what it's about. That's not the business. We are being going 252 in HP because we want to be as thick as possible and maximize our 100 base HP stat. But we only need 4 points in attack. We don't even need those 4 points. We actually only really need these 84 points in defense with our Impish Nature, giving us a plus defense minus special attack boost. And then the rest of our points are split between special D and speed. And the reason we're only putting 4 points in speed over no points in speed is so we can outspeed other Tyranitars who just go 252 HP, 252 attack, or 252 HP, 252 defense, and then they put 4 in like special D or something like that. Now, we're going to be able to outspeed other wall T-Tars using this 4, and I think in either today's video or on stream, I think I outsped like 3 or 4 T-Tars. This is how we're doing it. Those 4 points really do matter. This Pokemon is a really good matchup against other T-Tars, Gyarados, Excadrills. Most Pokemon right now are really, really physically heavy, and this Tyranitar just absolutely dumpsters them. Also, it has a really good specialty, and remember, Sandstorm multiplies your defense by 1.5 when you're in it, if you're a rock type, so we have that huge 100 base HP, huge 100 base special D with significant investment and a 1.5 boost on top of that. there's not many Pokemon that can just dumpster us. Like, if we have the Sandstorm up, we can pretty much eat anything, even like, you know, Max Geysers from other Dynamax Pokemon. We can also, the reason why this EV spread is significant is if you put 164, you actually are able to live through 2 spread Hyper Voices from Pixelate Sylveon, even if you don't have your Sandstorm boost. That's how significant this EV spread is. So I would highly recommend at least trying this Tyranitar in your own games if you want to try a bulky Tyranitar, and you will not be disappointed. This Pokemon is extra thick. Moving on to the only Pokemon that has a 252 spread, because this is just the best way to run Excadrill. We're running Sash Excadrill. This team's a late game sweeper. I know that like T-Tar Excadrill is like the cool new thing for a lot of you guys, but don't lead T-Tar Excadrill. You're going to lose to someone leading with things that are made to counter T-Tar Excadrill, like Intimidators and Earthquake users and Fighting type Pokemon. Don't lead the T-Tar Excadrill. If you save Excadrill as your late game sweeper, you're going to get a lot more value out of it. The reason we even use T-Tar Excadrill is because Excadrill has an ability called Sand Rush. If Sandstorm is active, this Pokemon's speed is doubled, and it's also immune to Sandstorm if for some reason your type changes. Most people forget that part about Sand Rush. It makes you immune to Sandstorm. So, like, there are Pokemon, like those fossil Pokemon, their hidden abilities are Sand Rush. They're going to be immune to Sandstorm, and a lot of people aren't going to realize that until it's too late. They're going to think like, oh, they have safety goggles. But let me get back on point. Our moveset is Protect, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Iron Head. Very standard stuff. You may be thinking, why do you have Earthquake? You don't want to Earthquake your Tyranitar. You can max with this guy and go like max ground move, whatever, and make it so it turns into a single target move. But also, like, I could pair it with Corviknight, I could pair it with Rotom Moat, I could pair it with Gyarados. There's so many cool Pokemon that I can pair this Excadrill with that I actually think that it's definitely one of the better max Pokemon. You can see our EV spread here. We just have full attack and full speed. Note that we are a Jolly nature, and the reason why we're Jolly over Adamant is because you do not want to lose speed ties to other Excadrills. Other Excadrills will be Jolly, and if you don't just want to automatically go second and you want to have a chance to go first and go for that 50-50 coin flip, you might as well be Jolly, because if you're not first, you're last, and that's exactly what VGC is all about. So Excadrill needs to be Jolly. It's unfortunate. I agree. I'd much rather be Adamant. I'd much rather put stats in other places, but because T-Tar and Excadrill are so dominant right now and so, popular, you kind of need to go with this EV spread just to be able to keep up. But speaking about keeping up, this is where we're going to start taking things off. We're running Assault Vest Gyarados. A lot of you guys coming from singles are going to be like, what even is Gyarados with an Assault Vest? No Dragon Dance? No, like, other really cool damaging moves? Nope. That's not it. We're running Assault Vest. It's going to multiply your special defense stat by 1.5, but you can only deal damage. You can't use Taunt, you can't use Protect, you can't use Dragon Dance, only damage dealing moves. This is a great Pokemon because it gets a specialty boost from the Assault Vest by 1.5, and you can use its Intimidate to, on switch in, when you send this Pokemon out, it lowers the attack of both opponents' Pokemon by 1. So it's a 1.5. It's really, really good. So it has really, really high stats. You can see we have a basic Waterfall Stab. We have Power Whip, and the reason we have Power Whip is because this is another one of those Pokemon that we really, really want to Dynamax with. So we have the Waterfall for our basic Stab. We have Power Whip. If we want to hit those Rotom Washes, know what I'm saying? We can go Power Whip and go for the max Overgrowth or whatever that is, and just dumpster Rotom Grasses. Also works against a lot of other, what is it? What is that Pokemon? Dreadnought. Oh my gosh, Dreadnought is about to be eating these. We have Bulldoze for speed control. Bulldoze hits every single Pokemon on the board, even your own, and lowers their speed by 1 stat. So if I pair it with a Rotom and I go Bulldoze, Rotom's going to use Levitate to avoid that. Corviknight's going to use Levitate to avoid that. I could use Protect with Excadrill, Protect with Tyranitar, Bulldoze, lower their speed and make it so next turn I can then outspeed them if we have very similar speed tiering. And last but not least, we have Stone Edge. Maybe you're wondering why I have Stone Edge over something like Crunch or Ice Fang or maybe even Earthquake. But the reason we have Stone Edge is because if you do plan on maxing with this Pokemon, Stone Edge resets the sand, which is what your team's supposed to do, so it's actually pretty good. Another cool thing about Power Whip here is Power Whip sets Grassy Terrain, right? And Grassy Terrain is actually really significant because we have a lot of Pokemon, mainly Excadrill and Tyranitar, that are weak to ground. And so, remember guys, Grassy Terrain makes it so the move Earthquake, not just ground moves, but the move Earthquake deals half damage during a grassy terrain. So like Gyarados can use Bulldoze to lower their speed. Like if I have like a board that's like Tyranitar Gyarados, I can go Protect Tyranitar, Gyarados Bulldozes, lowers their speed of their like whatever Pokemon that's using Earthquake. Next turn, if they want to Earthquake, they're going to be dealing like 15-20% to my Tyranitar instead of like that 50-60%, just because the grassy terrain's on the board and we're going to be restoring health. It's actually really, really cool. This is really, really you know, some in-depth stuff. Speaking about in-depth stuff, we got this EV spread here. Holy moly, look at this EV spread. We are using another impish Pokemon. It's Impish Gyarados with 252 in HP because we are a thick boy, extra thick. And we have 60 points in attack. And the 60 points in attack actually gets you something relatively significant. I know it's going to seem like I'm talking in another language, looking at a Gyarados that doesn't have full attack investment, but just hear me out. Gyarados, sure, you can go full attack investment, but if you lead against T-Tar Excadrill and you're full attack Gyarados, even if you intimidate them, like a Scarf T-Tar and Sandrush Excadrill can just, you know, one can max, like the Excadrill can max and use, you know, max Rockfall, or they can just go double Rock Slide, and you'll still get KO'd. But if you use this EV spread, you're going to totally be able to live it, and, you know, sure, you can't one-shot them with this EV spread, whereas you might be able to one-shot or at least just clock the Excadrill Sash, but most likely that's the one that's Dynamaxing, so it doesn't matter. It's much better just to two-shot them, which you definitely can using a 60 investment. Gyarados, he has a 125 base attack, which means you don't need that much EV investment to actually still two-shot most threats. So again, like Rotom, you don't even really one-shot bulky Rotom with Power Whip, but with this investment, you two-shot it, and they two-shot you back, but you're still going to outspeed them because you have a much higher base speed tiering most of the time. So, yeah, you have only 60 points in attack because you're trying to two-shot things, not one-shot things. You're trying to play the bulky game, trying to play the long game, trying to mitigate damage, and use Gyarados as a pivot Pokemon. They can come in, absorb damage, layer up Intimidates, apply some coverage, switch out, come back in, do it again, rinse and repeat. That's VGC. We also see that this is the reason why we're able to live through so many moves. We have 188 points with Nature in defense, and we're rocking Intimidate. Like I said, everyone is using physical sweepers right now in VGC. Physical sweepers have always been really, really good, but in past formats, you know, there's been so many good intimidators and other things to keep them locked down. This format, every single Pokemon has like an ability that makes it so they can't get intimidated, like Mamoswine has Oblivious. There's Defiant users, there's Inner Focus users, that makes it so it can't get intimidated anymore. There's Pokemon like Corviknight with Mirror Armor. There's so many Pokemon that aren't affected by Intimidate anymore that the physical sweepers this early in the format are rising up. And so even though we have Intimidate, we still need a ton of investment just to make it so we can play that bulky game. And remember, we have an Assault Vest. We don't need to invest. We have 100 base Special D. We don't need to put any points in the Special D to live through all of the attacks we'd ever want to live through. Rain teams especially cannot really deal with this Pokemon. Like, think about it. Like, water attacks aren't going to be doing anything. Grass attacks are neutral damage. Electric attacks, yeah, those do a lot, but like, what's using the electric attack? Like a Manectric? A Dragapult? It doesn't stab it. That's only base 100. A Rotom? Yeah, maybe it stabs it, but Rotoms are more bulky than offensive. And even if they are offensive, you're still not going to get one-shotted. I've lived a Max Lightning multiple times on this Gyarados. This Pokemon is extra thick. And again, we just put these last 4 points in speed just in case we fight other Gyaradoses that are doing very similar things. You'd be surprised how many people don't put these 4 points in here. And this is one thing I'd highly recommend. Start putting 4 points of speed in your walls so you start actually, like, you can start outspeeding other exact Pokemon mirror match walls that are doing the exact same thing. You're going to start to win some games off it, I promise, and you'll never not put 4 points in there ever again. Going on to the next Pokemon here, we can see it's Rotom Grass, and again, Rotom Mow. You're going to think, like, why aren't you using Rotom Wash? Again, I already have a Gyarados. I needed a Pokemon that could, you know, resist electric attacks because I'm pairing it with a Gyarados, and you're saying, fine, why don't you use Rotom Heat? Well, I didn't want to use Rotom Heat. I think Rotom Heat's fine, but I didn't want to use Rotom Heat because I already had a Corviknight, right? And I already had an Excadrill. Sorry, that's the other way. I should be using Rotom Heat because I'm using Corviknight and Excadrill. But no, I just didn't want to use Rotom Heat. I didn't want that Rocks weakness. That's the big thing. I didn't want that Rocks weakness just because I already have Gyarados, and there's already Excadrill T-Tar, which is like a really, really popular core. There's going to be so many people running that core. I just didn't want Rotom Heat, and I think that this one actually is better. It has a very good matchup against Rain teams. Rain teams can't do anything against this Pokemon. Water, not very effective. Ice-type attacks is super effective. They don't stab them, and you're going to be able to eat it like a champ. Electric attacks, not very effective. It's super, super good. We're holding a Citrus Berry over Leftovers because Citrus Berry is much better in doubles. It restores a fourth of your HP when you're at half or less. And so you could say there's arguments to be made for Leftovers because you're not always going to have T-Tar and Sand on the board. But the reason why this is good is because it makes it so Pokemon that want to go for like a nuke, which is both Pokemon attacking your same slot, trying to get you off the board before you can do something. This makes it so most Pokemon have to do like 60 to 70% to Rotom twice. There's no Pokemon that really just one-shot Rotom unless it's using like a super effective move. And even if they do, it's usually going to be a lot harder for them to KO Rotom than they would imagine. So this is actually going to make it so the Citrus Berry, they do like, 50, 60%. You restore 25%. You go up to like, 60, 75%. They do that 60 again. You live on by a thread, and then you get to do whatever you want to do. And then sometimes if you put up that Will-O-Wisp, that's all she wrote. Again, a lot of people are saying like, you need more fire coverage. Like, what do I need fire coverage for? Ferrothorn? I could burn a Ferrothorn. If I burn a Ferrothorn, he's going to just wither away eventually. What's he really going to do? He can't Leech Seed me, like, I will be able to Leaf Storm him out probably if we're being realistic, or just Volt Switch him out, even if it comes down to Rotom Mow versus Ferrothorn. We have Protected because we need it. Volt Switch for pivot control. This makes a great lead. I can lead like Tyranitar and Rotom, analyze the situation, pop or Protect with my T-Tar, see what my opponent's going to do, go for a very slow Volt Switch into my Excadrill so I can soak all this damage with Rotom, come in with Excadrill, and then I have that speed that I need to succeed. And last but not least, you got that Leaf Storm, which is that great coverage versus especially Tyranitar, Excadrill teams, and Rotom Wash. This is the one that beats the one that everyone's using. If you can get away with using a Rotom Mow, I promise you, you will not be disappointed because it is so good. You can see our EV spread. We had to move this one. We had to move this one a little down a bit because you would really like to go 252, or you would really want to, but then you're over by 2 points. So we had to go 248 because the reason being, I really wanted 12 here because I feel everyone's going to be putting those last 4 in speed on Rotoms. Like everyone just goes 252, 252, I'm done, or 252, 252, I'm done, or 252, 252, I'm done. They just do 252 squads. Everyone does it this early in the meta. And then they put the last 4 in speed. And so we want to outspeed the people that are putting 4 in. And remember the way EVs work, guys. The first 4 count, and then after that, it's in increments of 8. So it's 4, 12, 20, 28, 36, 44. You guys get the idea. So we need 12 to be able to outspeed other wall Rotoms, and I've actually outsped quite a few other wall Rotoms by only putting in 4. But only putting in 4 kind of messes with these things a lot, and I wanted a ton of defense, and I wanted just a little bit specialty to mess with people's calcs. A lot of people have calcs that KO specific Rotom sets using neutral moves, using like, like dragon attacks boosted off like choice specs and other things, that they can one-shot a Rotom after like 1 tick of Sandstorm, blah, 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 whatever. This totally throws it off and gives us a slight chance to live those, and then if we live, remember like I said, we proc our Citrus Berry, we get to hang on, do what we need to do, and we're totally fine. I'd highly recommend this Rotom set, and I do actually like to use different Rotom sets for pretty much every format that I play. I've used Rotom Wash, I've used Rotom Heat in a couple of formats, and now we're using Rotom Grass because I think it's very, very good against the current meta of Sand Rain teams. Up next, we have our boy Como. We're using Choice Specs Como. This is a Pokemon that I also really do like going with our Dynamax. Choice Specs multiply your special attack by 1.5, but you can only select the first move. But remember, guys, when you Dynamax, you can, it removes the effectiveness of your Choice Specs. You don't get the boost, but like, let's say I lock myself into Flamethrower, I can switch it up and use Flash Cannon. I can switch it up and use Aura Sphere, and actually, this is not Aura Sphere. This is actually Focus Blast. I made this paste last night, my bad. It's Focus Blast, there we go. Updated Focus Blast. You could say if you want to use Aura Sphere, that's totally fine if you want to make this Pokemon for yourself, but remember, we're trying to deal that big damage, and sometimes you gotta risk for the biscuit. 120 base, 70 accuracy. Sometimes you just gotta risk it. If you really don't want to miss, you can go Dynamax and go for a Max Knuckle. And guys, remember, Max Knuckle raises your attack. We have a lot of physical attackers. You're gonna see me put that to use in today's vid. I mean, you guys already saw it. I already did it. It was pretty good. Gave my, I think, Corviknight a big boost. But anyways, yeah, we got Clanging Scales. This is an AoE move. Hits both 110 base. Guys, remember, moves that hit both Pokemon have reduced damage in doubles, but is still really strong. This Pokemon hits like a literal truck. We have Flamethrower. This is our main Ferrothorn check. If Ferrothorn's giving you a problem, make sure to be bringing Komoro every single time. Flash Cannon is there for fairies. Great for dealing with Sylveons. If it's a full sweeper Sylveon, you're going to be able to one-shot it with a Specs Flash Cannon every single time. And last but not least, we got our Stabbed Focus Blast. Got that big damage. Note that we're using a Soundproof Como. I think Soundproof is very, very good. Most people would think that we're Overcoat. Overcoat says this Pokemon is a move to powder moves like Sleep Powder and Rage Powder, and damage from Sandstorm or Hail. So most people would think that we're using this in a Sandstorm team, but I really do feel that Soundproof is a better ability. It makes it immune to sound-based moves, right? So using any ability that makes you immune to anything, so that's all of Toxtricity's moves, right? Because those are all the sound-based ones. But more notably, it's other Como-Os who are using Clanging Scales, and Sylveon using Hyper Voice. Sylveon is very popular right now, because Sylveon is just one of the best AoE attackers in the game, and you can't Hyper Voice me. I can just come in, I can switch in on those Hyper Voices, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I already talked about how Sylveon is a Pokemon that we've actually heavily EV trained to fight against because it is so popular. And having Soundproof just makes it so we don't have to deal with that at all. He's going to have to use Moonblast, and more often than not, they're choiced. And so we're totally fine. And there's another option is Bulletproof, makes the user immune to ballistic moves like Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Focus Blast, I think Gyro Ball. Like I said, abilities that make you immune to moves, any moves, are really, really good. If we had weaknesses to like Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb on our team, like we're not really weak to Sludge Bomb. I know like Rotom takes Sludge Bomb and stuff like that, but we're not really weak to those moves. If we were weaker, like I'm more weaker to that Hyper Voice from Sylveon than I'm weaker to those ballistic moves. That's why I decided to go with Soundproof. But you guys can totally leave me a comment in the comments below and let me know what ability you like on Como or if you agree with this spread. Going into the EV spread, you see what we're timid. I wanted to be just a little bit faster, and this actually, I was originally modest with like 100 and something points in speed, but I realized I didn't need to be this strong. I didn't need to be modest. I could get away with being timid and making, because I already have the choice specs. But the reason we have this speed tiering is 125. 125 is a very perfect speed tiering for Como at level 50 because it outspeeds Tyranitar, exclusively Jolly Tyranitar. Tyranitar has a 61 base speed, but if you were to put all your points into it and make it Jolly, it would come out to 124. Como still outspeeds. This Pokemon is the it is the T-Tar check. That's what it's here for. It just dumpsters Tyranitars. Like, what's Tyranitar gonna do? Crunch it? Rock slide it? Low kick it? He ain't doing anything to this guy. We're gonna be able to always OHKO Tyranitars. We have a great matchup versus Excadrill as well. If you're looking for things to counter those two Pokemon, this is your guide. Also checks their dive buddies like Ferrothorn and Sylveon's as well. And also, because we are afforded, we only need this many points in speed, we're afforded the rest of our points in HP. It's so bulky. And there's no reason to really go points in defense, because Clanging Scales can lower your defense. And like I said, I don't really think you need to put points in specialty. You could, but it's actually just a lot more beneficial to maximize your HP. Since Como has really good defenses, but a low base HP, so you always want to max out your HP first on Pokemon that have a low, or you always want to max out your lowest stat first if you want to get the most bang for your buck. Lowest base, I mean. So yeah, 180 points. This makes this Pokemon very, very thick, especially when Dynamaxing, and I would highly recommend this Como set to anyone that's looking for a Choice Specs Pokemon that can just come in and deal massive damage and pick up humongous KOs. Like, I almost one-shotted a Toxapex with this Clanging Scales on stream today. It was absolutely hilarious. Moving on to the last Pokemon, we have Corviknight here, and I don't know if I'm going to keep this Corviknight. I have this Corviknight to make people respect my ability to use the Tailwind, but also, Corviknight has a really cool ability called Mirror Armor. Now, Mirror Armor says it bounces back only the stat lowering effects of any Pokemon that, like, lowers your stats. So if, like, they would an Intimidator against you, like they would a Scrafty or a Gyarados or something, and they intimidate you, you don't receive the Intimidate, and you bounce it back at them. So my team is very, very weak to Intimidate. So I decided, I was like, all right, well, I need to have something to keep people honest, and so they don't just lead, like, Gyarados Hitmontop. I need something that says, like, if you want to do that, you're in for a bad time. So this is what this does. Also note that we're holding a Mental Herb. Mental Herb says it cures Attract, Disable, Encore, Heal Block, Taunt, or Torment. And the one we're looking at is Taunt. I want to always be able to Roost. I want to always be able to Tailwind if I want. Sure, I can make this thing totally hold leftovers like everybody else, or like a Rocky Helmet or something, but since we very rarely would bring this Pokemon is an exclusive check to Whimsicott, which is very, very, very popular at the upper echelon of the ladder. Whimsicott is everywhere, just absolutely being used by the higher level players. Whimsicott gets Tailwind, Whimsicott gets Moonblast, Whimsicott gets Taunt, and those are all moves that Whimsicott totally uses, and if I was a Whimsicott player, I would Taunt the Corviknight, let it try and Tailwind, and the next turn, I would set my own Tailwind, and then let it clock my Sash with an Iron Head, and then switch out, and then they would just win the game from there. This time, they go for the Taunt, I get the Tailwind, now I have the advantage. And one cool thing about our EV spread is that in said Tailwind, we actually are going to outspeed a lot of Pokemon. If we have a Tailwind, this jolly Corviknight with only 20 points is still going to outspeed Dracopulse. It's going to be outspeeding, plus speed nature Dracopulse. We have full HP investment, just a little bit of attack because we don't really need it. We're going for 2, 3, 4 shots with Iron Head. We have a huge defense investment because, again, we're really trying to beat those sand teams because they are so popular, trying to counter those. And the last few points are in defense. I could have threw these 50 points in defense, but I wanted to give us some special deep bulk, just a little bit, to be able to make us our matchup versus Rotom's a lot better because Rotom is very, very popular. This helps us fight Rotom. This helps us fight rain teams. This helps us have the bulk necessary to set the Tailwind that can win us the game. Note our moveset is Protect, Tailwind. Tailwind, for those of you guys don't know, for 4 turns, and the turn that we set it is counted, it doubles your whole team's speed, not just your speed, your teammate's speed as well. And we got Roost to restore some health, and then Iron Head is just the base move, 30% chance to flinch. It's actually pretty good. You could totally choose to go Brave Bird here, but I feel that Iron Head's a lot better because it helps us against the T-Tar Excadrill matchup. This is a Pokemon that T-Tar Excadrill, they don't like dealing with. They don't really have moves that really hit a Corviknight, and so I think Corviknight is a really, really cool Pokemon, but I do really feel that I might want to switch it out for a Duraludon because I feel that this team, while it is very, very cool, and we're still trying to like adapt the meta, I just got done making this team. I just got done testing it, and I feel it. While it won like all the games that I tested it, except for just one. I've had one loss with this team out of like the 10 or 15 so games that I've played it, and the only reason I lost was to a missed rock slide. But enough about that. The biggest problem with the team is having fire coverage for Ferrothorn. And yeah, we have fire coverage on Kommo-o, but I have to bring Kommo-o, and they know that. Sure, I can Will-O-Wisp it, but it's a little bit of a problem. Sure, I can go for low kicks, max knuckles. I can go for, you know, the max earthquake move. I can even go for, you know, I can waterfall. That's not the sauce. I don't want to do that. I can also go for like, you know, focus blast. I have coverage for Ferrothorn. I want more Pokemon that have more coverage for Ferrothorn. So I was thinking about cutting it for a Duraludon. Maybe that would have a better match versus Ferrothorn, but I want to be able to like hide, you know, my Ferrothorn coverage. Maybe I could put like a Dragapult here. I was thinking about putting Dragapult here, but again, Corviknight also has a really good role in the team with its Mirror Armor ability. But yeah, that is the team. Again, if you guys want the code, maybe I'll find a way to put the code on the screen here, but there is a code in the description. You can go back to the beginning of the video, check that code out for yourself, guys. Please use this code, and please tell me how many wins it gets you. Like, this is going to be the team that will carry every one of you guys in the Master Ball tier, and I cannot wait to see you join me at the very top of the ladder, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys like the team, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.